Hi, everybody, and welcome to an October Frights Blog Hop kickoff. We are here today with three of the Blog Hop attendees, or I guess participants, aficionados, Blog Hopper experts, as well as with AF Stewart, who I thought started the Blog Hop farther back than I can remember. This has been going on quite a while, and it's become one of my favorite Halloween traditions. So we actually have as close to the founder as we can get today. So welcome, everybody. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Carmilla. And thank you, AF Stewart, for coming today.
Glad to be here.
So excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome thing. But for anybody who's not really sure, what is this October Frights, like the uninitiated, those poor, poor, poor fools. Can you tell us a little bit about how it started? Because I don't even know how long I've been doing this intermittently. I haven't been doing it, of course, as faithfully as you, even close.
Yeah. So way back in the olden days, uh, a bunch of horror writers got together and started this blog hop called Coffin Hop. And this went on for years. And then the founder of that, Axel Howerton, decided to wrap it up because he was starting his own press and he didn't have time anymore. So one of the coffin hoppers, Clarissa Joel, I'm not sure if I pronounced that last name right, so sorry if I didn't, Clarissa, but she started October Frights as sort of a spin-off of that. And I think that started around 2015, 2013, somewhere around there. Anyway, and so she did it for 3 or 4 years, I believe, something like that anyway, but she couldn't continue with it. So that's when I stepped in and took over. And basically, it's a celebration of Halloween and all things scary and spooky and all the good stuff we love as horror writers. And we also welcome in paranormal writers as well, not just straight up horror. And it goes from the 10th to the 15th, and we have people posting stories and Halloween histories and all sorts. We've had photo montages some years, and I do poetry every year, and some other people do poetry as well. And so that's basically what happens. And in addition, we have an October Frights giveaway over on Story Origin for the entire month. So that actually runs from the 1st to the 31st. And this year we're having a book fair from the 10th to the 15th where you can check out the books of these lovely people, me, and the rest of the participants as well. I think there's 12. Yeah, there's 12 books involved in the book fair. 2 of the participants did not submit books this year, but hopefully next year.
That's awesome. How does somebody just kind of come in and tag into all this? Like, how would the uninitiated come in and be initiated?
We do have October Frights group on Facebook that you can join, and the sign-up sheet is posted there every year. I also share out the sign-up sheet to some other groups once it goes up in September. So you just sign up on the sign-up sheet, and I would prefer if you do sign up to join the group because we do a lot of our organization there, but it's not 100% necessary if you don't like Facebook. But basically all you have to do is sign up with your email, your blog link, and post. You don't even have to post for the entire week if you don't want to. You can just post one post and have it up from the 10th to the 15th. Most people do tend to post more than one post during the week, though I do all 6 days because I'm crazy. And some people do like
awesome.
3 or 4 posts and stuff like that. And some people do like me; they post all 6 days. So it's a mix of what you get, but they're all entertaining. They're all interesting, and I've read some really, really, really good stories over the years during the hop.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How would a reader find this? Like, where do they start from for this blog hop?
Well, you can check any of the blogs that are participating. Like my website. I'm doing this on my website this year, not my regular book blog. It's afstewart.ca, and all the blogs have links posted to the other blog hops. That's why it's called a blog hop. So you can hop from one blog to the next. Anyway, and there's I've also got a link this year. I've got a page. It's linked underneath the book fair page on my website, and you can see a list of all the participants. So either way, they're pretty easy to find.
I actually am sharing that link in chat. So if you're watching and you want to find out how to go participate in this blog hop and find some great new authors, go ahead and start at AF Stewart's blog, and then you can find everybody else from there, including the book fair, which is kind of a big deal for what we're doing. I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Did I not know about that before? Or?
Just a minute. You can find all my posts on the website underneath the blog link, because it's not on the landing page, because I forgot to put it on the landing page. Yeah, I told everybody else to make it visible, and then forgot to put a link on the landing page, so I had to go do that after this.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, if you go now, you can go find it like that, but otherwise it'll be corrected.
But I mean, all my posts are under blog, so just click the blog link and you'll find everything. So
yeah, awesome. Well, what are some of the things that you guys have coming up for this?
Shall I take this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm one of these crazy people that are doing all 6 days as well. I've got a couple of days where I've got Drabbles, 100-word horror stories. I've got a day when I'm talking about how cancel culture and censorship may apply to the horror genre and my thoughts on that. And then I've got one day where I'm talking about my brand new release, Our Fearful Roots, which is one of the books on the book fair, and another where I'm interviewing a character from one of my other books, Starblood. So that's how I filled my 6 days.
Oh, awesome. How about you, Heidi?
Very awesome. I'm not 6 days worthy. I'm struggling to get 3 in, which, I mean, to be fair, in the past, I only ever did one post, and it was usually a sharing from whatever paranormal or horror or thriller that I had released that year. And I have been privileged to be participating in this with AF Stewart since 2016, I think, was when I joined. And I didn't do it every year, but every year I follow along as a reader, because Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. My husband and I fight over which holiday should have more decorations, Halloween or Christmas. I think Halloween. Yes. But tomorrow I'm doing a review of The Uninvited by Amanda Marin. I finished it last weekend, and it's absolutely a delightful read. Learn more about my thoughts about why this is better than Twilight, because it's kind of in that vein of storyline. And then I'm going to have a short story on Wednesday from my Hunter Saga series that will kind of give you an introduction into the characters and all that fun stuff. The Hunters is the series that is being promoted on AF Stewart's site. And I'm also going to have stakes for the Hunter series on sale on my website at a discount price. Normally I sell them at conventions for $10.99. I'll be selling them online for $8.99 plus shipping and handling. So it'll end up being about the same price, but at least you don't have to pay extra for the shipping and handling. And then if everything goes right, Friday, I'm going to have a post on DIY Halloween decorations for your windows and walk through how I'm creating mine. I got a little behind on that because I ended up with a leak in our home. And so things have been interesting here. Everything is 2 weeks behind right now, but I'm going to try and get that up on Friday. So, and I look forward to seeing
the horror element.
Right. Right. But I'm really excited about seeing everything that everybody else is sharing this year too, because that, I have to say, as much fun as being a part of the hop is, having my own posts and sharing that, I love reading through what everybody else is contributing. It is just so fun, so interesting, and it really gets you in that Halloween spirit, which I really need this year because I like fantasy horror far more than real life horror. Give me monsters and demons over no bathroom any day of the week.
Yeah, exactly. I like my horror where I can close the covers on it and put it on the shelf. Well, I'm going to be doing it 6 days. I don't know exactly what I'm doing all 6 days, but I know on Monday, tomorrow, I mean, I have this author. We're doing a quick little literary spotlight where he's going to be reading. This is Lee Andrew Foreman. He's going to be reading from his book, The Berry Box. And I know at some point I'm going to be giving away this book by Jesse Wolfe, which is poetry, Monstrum Poetica. I was like, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. And she has there we go, the signed book plate in it as well. And then a bunch of other stuff. But I try to blog every day anyways. And I got way out of habit during 2020. So I am back on that, trying to blog every day. It's been over a month now. So I'm like, I think I'm going to do it this time. Kind of like dieting. I'm going to get back on the horse again. But yeah, I'm super excited. One of my goals every year that I've never done, so maybe I'll do it this year, is to try to pick up every book in our bookstore and then review every book in our bookstore. But no promises, because I failed every year doing that right now.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely want to check out Lee Foreman's interview thing, because he runs Pen of the Damned, which I'm part of. So.
Oh, right. That's so funny. Yeah, and this was a very last minute thing. I think we decided to do this like yesterday.
Yeah, and his book is currently free, I think.
Yeah, it is until the 13th.
Yeah.
On ebook, and then he also has a really good group, like a fun subscription thing that you can. I say subscription, but it's just signing up for it. Called The Cult of the Box, where he sends out like little extra stories, and
I'm part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Cult of the Box.
I'm doing today's post is just the intro and a little short flash fiction. Tomorrow's post, I will be spotlighting a bunch of horror books. So if anybody wants new books to read, check that out. Wednesdays is more flash fiction, 2 stories. Not Wednesday, but Tuesday. Wednesday is Drabble Wednesday, October Frights edition, with 3 new drabbles. And then Thursday is the poetry, and I'll be spotlighting my own new poetry book, horror poetry book, with some excerpts. And then the last day, I'm going to be giving a excerpt from my work in progress, Fairy Tales and Nightmares. So.
Oh, awesome. That's actually where I met you, was through Gather, and it was your work. Like, you were posting little excerpts, and that's how I found you and kind of fell in love with your work. And I would say you, but we don't want to get weird, but yes, you as well. And that's kind of like one of the benefits of things like this, is you make new friends, and as well as find new work that you want to read. So I love that you do this. So this is my official thank you for doing all this work, so I can just kind of pop in once a year and be like, oh, this is cool.
Yes, thank you from me too.
Yeah, but I mean, most of my author friends I've found through different things. Like Heidi, I met through Brain to Books, and through Heidi, I met. I became a fan of Andy Peliquin.
Yeah.
So Heidi has inadvertently made my finances much smaller, because
I'm sorry. You know what? I feel your pain, because that man writes way too many books, way too fast. I can't keep up with how fast he writes them. And he's killed my book budget more than one month.
So because you were talking about his covers, the original black and white covers that he did. I
still love them. I was so excited that I got a first edition of that.
And I'm going, I'm going to check those covers out and see what they look like. And then that just kind of snowballed from there anyway.
Yeah. And while the new covers are much more fantasy and on point, I still love the first covers best.
Yeah. But I do like the new covers, though. They're very, very good. So.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're absolutely wonderful. Yeah, but the other ones, I felt like they spoke to my soul. Again. I know. We're perfectionists. We can never stop.
I was like, I got the first 3 books. Now I have to buy it again.
I know, right?
But luckily, I hadn't yet purchased the end of that series, so I'm good with that. So I only have to buy the first 3 books again. But now he's into sci-fi
he just keeps branching out. I love the world of Ramis. I haven't gotten into his new stuff yet, but everything that he's done, and I've seen the stuff. I just haven't had time to catch up on my reading. But it looks fantastic, and I love sci-fi, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting into them eventually. They're on my Christmas list. So
Yeah, I think I've gotten less horror. I don't want to say I'm not horror anymore, but much more interested in sci-fi since 2020 when horror became real. It's like,
Yeah.
I really don't need to read about any more pandemics or anything and zombie apocalypses at this moment.
yeah.
Well, my current work in progress is more urban fantasy based in a women's prison. So it's got horror elements, but it isn't horror in the way that Starblood or Our Fearful Roots is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I, on the other hand, have gone nose deep into true crime and forensic shows for the past 2 years.
I was already
usual.
addicted to those.
Yeah. So I don't know. I seem to be the horror seems to be the true crime horror seems to be making me happy. So
Yeah. Well, and
Whatever
that's the
makes you
point
happy.
of doing what we do, So how about you, Heidi? What are you working on right now?
I am in the process of actually doing new covers and re-releasing the Hunters. So the version that people are going to be getting, it's just a different cover, but the interior is pretty much staying the same. But I also am selling the first cover of the Hunters for a discount during the thing too. But the one that is up on the AF Stewart storefront is the second edition cover. And I had hoped to have a third edition cover ready, but life happened. So, but yeah, just trying to release all of those and get ready for Los Immortalis, which is the next book in the Hunter saga. So
Awesome. I just came out with Tortured Willows, but which is a poetry book with 3 other authors, Christina Singh, Lee Murray, and Genevieve Flynn. But that's on our Asian experience. That has pivoted everything I'm doing. So I'm actually moving into nonfiction now, which is kind of where I started in the newspapers ages ago. So that's kind of my new work, besides another poetry book, is moving into nonfiction and kind of exploring the horrors of World War II on Okinawa culturally, how it has to do with my family and how it affected them and everything. But it's pretty horrible. I thought I knew horror, and then reading history really understand that's horror, So that's kind of my work in progress right now, and I'm super excited. We just got done with that. So I'm doing the whole breathe, catch up, answer emails, and organize my desk, which is a mess. And then I'll launch into that. So how about favorite authors? We were just talking about, was it Andy Peliquin? Because it cut out for me a little bit. Okay, yeah, I love him. He's awesome. What are some of the other favorite authors, either in this blog hop or just in general, that you guys want to recommend?
not to fangirl, but AF Stewart is amazing. And not just because she hosts, but I mean, her writing is absolutely fantastic. Whether it's the poetry or it's the horror or her dark fantasy, they're all absolutely amazing. I have enjoyed reading all of it. So she's definitely one I'm a big fan of. And then Joshua Robertson is another one that he's my go-to whenever I need something to make me hate the world less. Because his worlds are so dark that all of a sudden ours seems bright and happy.
Yeah.
Well, I've really got into Adam Neville recently. He had a bit of, quite big success. He had a film made from his book Ritual. But yeah, I've been really enjoying his work, and he's got a new one coming out. I still love the old ones like Clive Barker. But on the sci-fi side, sci-fi fantasy, I recently discovered N.K. Jemisin, and with the Broken Earth trilogy, and I was blown away. It was amazing. So yeah, I think I got a lot of favorite authors, I must admit, but those are the 3 I'll name.
How about you, Ava?
I like Annie Peliquin's my favorite indie fantasy artist, and if you like poetry, J.D. Estrada is really good. And you mentioned being in the book with Lee Murray, but I also read her as well, and yeah, her stuff is amazing. Her Grotesque, yeah, that's the title.
Yep.
And the 1 year in the Black Cranes.
Black Cranes, Tales of Unquiet Voices.
Yeah, that I'm reading that at the moment, and that's amazing book. So
yeah, that's been an incredible journey. that one has been like, wow. So.
And I'm also currently reading Justin Lee Anderson's book. Oh, and I can't remember the title of it. It just won last year's SPIFBO competition. The
Oh, nice.
SPFBO. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't remember the title of it. It's terrible. I did this last night too. I totally spaced on book names. So, but anyway, I mean, people probably know what it is out there in the audience. But yeah, go look up Justin Lee Anderson. You'll find his books. He's good. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I have to echo what Heidi says, that I am a fan of A.F. Stewart, which I've already gushed about. Just the lush way you handle prose and poetry is fulfilling meaty reads. That's what I always think. If I want something just truly dark and gritty and that actually uses language, it's beautiful language, then I go to A.F. Stewart. Actually, I just got Killers and Demons 2, which I didn't know there was a 2. Or is it Demons and Killers and
Killers
Demons?
and Demons 2, and there will be a 3 eventually.
Okay.
I do have some stories for it. I just haven't put them together and finished the other ones.
Just been a little bit busy lately, right?
Yeah.
I just got that. I started that last night, and so I'm loving that. Hopefully I'll get that done and I can do a review of it this week during this blog hop. That was my point. I'm just getting started late.
Yeah, I do want to finish the sequel to Visions and Nightmares, which is another one of my story collections first, which is Fairy Tales and Nightmares, because that one really has kind of reinvigorated my juices for writing. So
Good.
And I do have a horror novella I have to edit, which I keep forgetting to edit.
Get distracted though, don't you? If a project kind of grips you, everything else just falls away.
Yeah, well, I've been working on my art and getting my Redbubble store up this year and getting my book cover site up and running. So it's been kind of distracting from my writing this year. But
I understand.
Yeah,
but the Redbubble stuff is awesome too, by the way. So you're going to have that as part of the hop, right? For people to check out?
Well, it's on my website if they want to. Like, I have a merchandise store.
You guys should check it out. There's some good stuff in there.
Cool, I'm not even sure what Redbubble is.
It's a merchandising storefront.
Yeah. It's like Etsy, Zazzle, Cafe Press. It's just another one of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's got some awesome stuff up there. The Skulls series, I really enjoyed the one. So
yeah, and I expanded it quite a bit this year. I went from 35 designs to 125 designs this year. So there's a lot of different stuff. I've got some writer stuff up there. You know, if you need things like don't judge me by my search history. It's a good one for horror writers. I did have some horror writer designs uploaded, but they put them in review. I guess they didn't like some of the blood stains or something.
Yeah, Redbubble can be really finicky about
Yeah, so I'm still waiting on whether or not they'll pass those. But anyway, I'm going to put a few more up and see if they go into review or not. Redbubble's a little weird about reviews sometimes. Like, they have no problem with the skulls,
right? But if there's something with too much blood on it,
yeah, I don't know if it's the blood stains or if it's like what was it? Oh yeah, shush! I'm killing off a fictional character. So they might have taken offense at the killing part.
How dare you propose killing something?
Some of this stuff has gotten so sensitive though lately. I just had something get denied for going on Twitch because it said Tortured Willows in the title. That's the name of the book.
But torture,
I don't know how to not say that.
What's the joy of AI is just.
I had the Facebook algorithm. Like I have a little bookstore on my Facebook page, a little shop thing, and I uploaded my Ghosts of the Sea Moon book, and they suspended the because they said the cover was sexually explicit. There are no people on the cover. Apparently, they mistook the monster tentacles for genitalia.
I mean, tentacle porn has apparently become really popular.
Apparently they thought the big sea monster was making love to the ship.
Okay.
Oh,
like Japanese.
all right. I thought we were
I
going to
don't
keep
know.
porn into species, but
Yeah. I had to email them several times to make them pay attention, but they finally put it back up.
that's so funny and crazy.
It's like,
So,
yeah, it's
but-
like there's no people on the cover. How is this actually explicit?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Going back to search histories, and I know we're almost out of time with this, but I'm just curious, what is kind of like one of the creepiest search histories you guys have done? Go into what you said about your shirts, A.F. Stewart. What is one of your creepiest search histories? I know there's many.
Yeah, I mean, I researched, how to cut out a tongue, whether someone would bleed to death if you had their tongue cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I've
newsflash,
often
they
wondered.
will. They will.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a rework
yeah.
thing on the story for that.
Pretty quickly too. It's like it's like hitting the carotid or the
it's like
pretty,
okay, yeah, can't have
not that I've ever
someone
looked
cut
that
out and
up.
survive in 15th century Venice. Have to rewrite that piece.
Yeah,
that's funny. But that's what
I've
you read about all the time in movies. People will have their tongues cut out.
Yeah,
and they
because
live long
if you
and happy mute
burn
lives.
it afterwards, then
Yeah.
you cauterize it. But that's why they burn it afterwards.
Yeah,
is to cauterize it
makes
so they don't
sense.
bleed out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in modern day medicine, you'd probably stand a better chance. But in 15th century Venice, which is where the book was set, yeah, they just bleed out on the floor.
Yeah.
This is good to know.
Yeah. So the tongue cutting scene is well, it's not actually in there, but the dimension of the tongue cutting is actually in the book. It's just the poor guy died, and it's not the character that was supposed to have their tongue cut out.
Because once you've researched that, you can't not put it in the book. Because then you don't have proof for the
I know.
FBI
Yeah,
that
well,
you
I
were
wanted
legitimately
someone's
looking
tongue
it up for a
cut out.
book.
It's 15th century Venice. Tongues had to be cut out. I'm telling you.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
that's just reality at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked up things like the decomposition of human bodies, how under sort of normal temperature, how long they'll take and stuff like that. So I suppose that might upset a few people.
I went into detail about how blood pooling affects decomposition and did detailed research on that. So that wasn't awkward at all. I probably should have just reached out to a medical professional. My search history would be a lot less compromised.
Yeah.
But it may have taken me a couple of weeks of researching it, which doesn't look suspicious at all.
Not at all. That's
So
like, I like that.
Is your search history something you really worry about? I mean, the likelihood of somebody checking into that, apart from a possible partner, they might think, "Oh, I'm not going there."
I won't lie. Until we moved to Utah, I did have a concern because my husband has a crazy ex that if he went missing, I'd be the first suspect.
Right.
But she was crazy enough that we were concerned that she would do something to him.
Wow.
So we were not sad to leave the state when that happened.
I'm sorry to have brought that up.
Yeah. But legitimately, people don't think about, oh, it's no big deal. That thing will never happen to me. But the first thing when they're investigating a person's disappearance or murder is to look at the search history of the spouse.
That's probably why you had the really good thought of, yes, you make sure you write about it after you've researched it. So you have.
That's right.
That's
and he will never
right.
ever die the way I wrote about, unless somebody kills him besides me. But
that's
I know
so
better.
funny. I went on this big thing about a body going off a 13th floor. What would it really look like when it hit? And I was kind of thinking it would be splat. That's what I would think. And then all my research pointed that you just look like you're laying there. And there's a beautiful photo in the way of she's dead, and it's a tragedy, called The Beautiful Dreamer. And it was a woman that had jumped off a building and hit the car, and somebody just happened to be walking by that was a photographer, took the photo, and she does look like she's just reposing in this cratered in car. So that was, but I actually got a little bit busted on that when one of my teenage sons came in to use my computer, and that was all the information that was up and the photos and other really graphic photos. And and that's when I had to remind them, remember how I write horror? Like, don't get on my computer unless you want to see some stuff like this, okay? I'm just saying, you won't find porn, but you'll find other stuff.
Right?
Well, I guess we're just about out of time. Do you guys have anything you want to like tell me about, like what projects you have? Like, where can we find you? List your blogs. This is going to be a good, fun week of getting to know everybody.
Yeah.
Well, all of my links can be found via my website. So all you need to remember is www.carmillavoiez.com. And then all the social media and blog links are all on there.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Heidi?
Same. You can find me at Heidi Angell with 2 L's because I'm not that kind of angel.com. And all my social media links are there. So if you want to branch out from there, but everything I do stems from my website. So if you just want to sign up for my e-newsletter or follow my website, that'll do ya.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
and AF, I've already shared your link, but
yeah, but I do want to give a quick plug to my new poetry book.
Oh, awesome.
Poetry of Monsters and Madness.
That's nice.
That just came
I
out.
love
on
that
1st.
cover.
And there will be a spotlight on that in the October Frights with some excerpts if you want to check it out. So
Awesome. I will definitely be checking that out. And like I said, I've already shared your link in chat. If you want to find any of these authors or the other authors that are participating, then I think there's 14, isn't there?
Yep, there's 14.
Yep. Go ahead and go to AF Stewart at blah. I have language skills. This is why I'm a writer. afstewart.ca, which is in the chat, and then you can find a list of all the links and everybody's blog. If you wind up getting lost as you're going through these, everybody's blog should have a list or a link to AF Stewart, so you can find your way again. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, AF, for doing this every year. It has become a tradition. Favorite thing for me to do on Halloween, which is like the best month of the year.
Here.
I'm sorry.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We hope we see you on the Blog Hop, October Blog Hop Tour. Bye.
Bye.